Gatwick Airport is London's second airport, and being halfway to the coast, it is very important for the southeast in general. It's arguably the London airport with the best rail service, being directly on the Brighton Main Line with service from Southern, Great Western Railway, Thameslink, and what we'll talk about in this video, the Gatwick Express. The Gatwick Express is advertised as the dedicated airport train and is priced at a premium compared to the other services on the same route, but does it really justify being branded as a premium service? Before we get going, let's quickly go through where the Gatwick Express came from. Gatwick Airport got its station in 1958, but before the 80s it didn't have any dedicated service, and travel to the airport was quite slow. Gatwick Airport wasn't really happy with this. They wanted better connections to London to make flying from the airport more competitive. In 1980 the station finally got rebuilt, directly integrated with the airport terminal. Then in 1984 the Gatwick Express service was launched, using old Mark II coaches from the Midland Main Line pulled by Class 73 locos, and was run by BR up until everything was privatized in 1996. National Express took over the franchise and ordered Class 460s to replace these old trains, but these turned out to be very unreliable. The Gatwick Express then received Class 442s from Southwest Trains, and eventually more to replace the unreliable Class 460s. The 442 is actually the first mainline train I remember riding, probably in 2010 or 2011 or something, which is cool. Anyway, the Class 460s went on to be combined with the Class 458s. Gatwick Airport wasn't really happy though. The rolling stock was outdated and services were crowded, which was not good for the airport. In 2016, the Gatwick Express was finally able to get new trains, the Class 387s, to replace the 442s. The 442s made a quick stop with Southwestern Railway before heading to the scrapyard. The 387s were longer than the 442s, so did increase capacity on the service, and aside from shutting down a few times during COVID, that brings us to the present day. If you've been to Gatwick Airport at all, you'd have certainly seen all of the giant red signs throughout the airport advertising the train to London. And at Victoria, it's quite similar. They've gone full on with advertising for the Gatwick Express, making it very obvious which train they want you to take to get to the airport. There shouldn't be any issue with this. Although there are other trains serving Gatwick Airport, we would much rather airport passengers take the dedicated airport train, so that the Southern and Thameslink trains can serve non-airport passengers, or even passengers travelling to Gatwick from places other than London or Brighton. The Gatwick Express has its own dedicated fleet of bright red Class 387s only used on this service. Although there are occasionally a few green ones and white ones, the 387s move around a lot. The Gatwick Express is very quick, to be fair, taking only 30 minutes from London Victoria to Gatwick Airport, and departing every half hour. London to Brighton in an hour is about as fast as it's realistically going to get, so you know what, this is good. However, because the Gatwick Express runs only every 30 minutes, a Southern service may be faster if you turn up at the wrong time. The quickest Southern services only take 35 to 40 minutes, only making a couple of stops along the way, mostly East Croydon or Clapham Junction. But a ticket on the slightly slower trains can be up to half the price. So surely the onboard experience makes up for this, right? So of course, let's go ride on it and see what it's like, and hope that this £18 was worth it. For an anytime day return from London Victoria to Gatwick Airport on Southern services, or Thameslink if you really want to, that will cost you £24. If you want to include the Gatwick Express in this anytime return, that brings the price up to £36, which is quite a bit more. And if you want to go first class, that's a lot more. If you want to help pay for this sort of stuff, you can support the channel by becoming a channel member. You may get to see new videos early, and you'll get shoutouts in videos.
Good morning everyone, welcome aboard this Gatwick Express service to Brighton, where we'll be calling at Gatwick Airport, Edwards of Brighton, and it's a delight to have you on board this service.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Gatwick Express, destino Aeropuerto de Gatwick.
Report it to a member of staff or text the British Transport Police. We are now approaching Gatwick Airport. We hope you had a pleasant journey and thank you for travelling on the Gatwick Express.
Have a nice day, safe travels. Our next stop is Gatwick Airport.
Would passengers for Gatwick Airport please note that this train will only remain on the platform for a short period of time.
Currently, the only thing really justifying the cost for the Gatwick Express is that slight time saving, assuming you turn up at the right time, and maybe a less crowded train. There definitely are passengers willing to pay twice as much to get to the airport a little faster, but not very many. In my opinion, there's two ways that we can fix this. The first one is very simple, just get rid of it. Yeah, like, no more Gatwick Express. We can take those paths on the Brighton main line and run more of those faster southern services. This would make ticket prices less confusing, which is especially important for airport passengers who may not be familiar with trains in the UK, and by rebranding the trains as Southern, Southern's operations would be more flexible, as these trains could be used on any other route. I mean, they sort of seem to do that anyway, though yeah, at least it would be less confusing when they do this. While this does get rid of the problem, I don't think that this is the best solution. Gatwick Airport would definitely be better off with a high-quality airport train. Thameslink trains aren't very comfortable, and Southerns, while a little better, are still mostly designed with commuters in mind. The Gatwick Express trains are already branded differently from Southern, so why do they have the exact same interior but in red? Maybe slightly different. But even by only improving the interior of the trains, the service could be drastically improved. Being an airport train, most passengers will be bringing large bags with them, so of course large luggage racks are essential. The overhead racks are nice but only work for small bags. There's a few medium racks throughout the train, which are great and would be excellent on most services across the country, but if you're specifically branded as serving an airport, you have to expect some much larger bags and a much greater proportion of passengers to have them. If you have anything larger than a bag for the overhead bins on the plane, these won't fit in the current luggage racks, and definitely not if the service is busy. When walking around the airport, I managed to find a bendy bus, which is cool, but this bus to the long stay car park had proper luggage racks. This is exactly what I would have expected on the Gatwick Express. If this random bus to the long stay car park can have good luggage racks, the Gatwick Express does not have any excuses. The luggage racks aren't the only issue with the interior of these trains, however. The seating on these trains also leaves a lot to be desired, like, really? Ironing board seats? And they've got the exact same thing going on in first class. I don't even want to know how much more that costs. There also seems to be a lot of first class sections on the train, which is interesting. But yeah, huge improvement to the seats is needed here, and especially in first class. These trains would be excellent for something like London to Cambridge or Oxford or any sort of quick intercity route, but they aren't fit for the airport service they operate and certainly don't justify the price being charged. Remove those small luggage racks, change all the red to green, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference from the Southern service. There aren't too many things that need to be improved to make this a great service. It's really just luggage space and some nicer seats, especially in their first class. But yeah, that's how to fix the Gatwick Express, I guess. Yeah, that's all for today, and I'll see you next time.